Good evening, everyone. This is Tammy Bosley, principal at William Paca Old Post Road Elementary School. So glad that you are joining us this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation for tonight. We're scheduled to be on from 7 to 7:30, and we hope that you enjoy this second family engagement evening that we're holding for the William Paca Old Post Road School community. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. If one of my co-presenters can let me know if they see it. We see it.
Looking good.
It's on there?
Yes.
All righty. All right, so folks, this evening, this is our second family engagement event. And tonight, I hope you're just as excited as we are. I know that there's been lots of questions out across Harford County as a whole, and we've been fielding some questions at William Paca at the school office. And I know that some people have actually contacted the helpline at central office. So hopefully this evening will be extremely informative for you as we move forward talking about how to navigate the Harford County Public Schools laptops that currently are 4th and 5th grade students. They were given those laptops at the start of the school year. We're going to talk about the It's Learning platform, and we're also going to talk about Microsoft Teams. Those are the meetings that teachers hold, live meetings with the students. So we kind of broke this into 3 sections, and we'll go ahead and get started. Tonight, we have the same presenters that we had at our first family engagement event. Again, my name is Tammy Bosley, the principal. We have Katie Scharf here. She's the assistant principal at Old Post Road building. We have Mr. Ronald Stump, who is the assistant principal at the William Paca building. Miss Marianne Clinton, who is the assistant principal, and she works in both of our buildings. Mrs. Brittany Godfrey, who's our Title I teacher specialist. Mrs. Mary Cahoe, she's our early intervention specialist. Mrs. Tanya Chandler, who's our reading specialist, and Mrs. Andrea Walker, our math specialist. So you're going to hear from them throughout the presentation this evening. I do want to go over these again. We did go over these the first meeting, but I think it's important to just revisit them quickly at the beginning of each meeting, just in the event that you weren't able to tune in to our first family engagement event. So this first bullet just talks about everything that we do is live and it is recorded. So you can always go back and access if you weren't able to join us this evening. I have already announced to you that we are being recorded at this time. There is a bit of a lag between when I switch screens, so you'll see me pause from time to time and the screens kind of catch up with our presentation. So if we start to talk and it's not matching what's on the screen, I promise you it'll come up in just a few seconds. I do encourage you throughout the presentation to submit questions. There's a Q&A portion on the side. When you submit your question, we will, at the end of the session, try and get to as many of those questions as we possibly can and answer them. But as we did in our last meeting, anything that we can't answer, we will develop a question and answer sheet and distribute that on our social media sites and our school website along with this recorded video. So we make sure that we address everyone's questions because we probably won't get to all of them. The second to last bullet, the links to the live meetings, again, will be sent and everything will be posted on our social media sites at some point this weekend. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to our Title I teacher specialist, Mrs. Brittany Godfrey.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to go over this slide again quickly. I'm sure you've seen it multiple times now. This is where we're housing all of our events, so we can keep it all in one place for you. We are, of course, down here for Friday, September 11th today, and our next event is scheduled for Wednesday, September 23rd. And as you can see, that's listed as a to be determined at this time. So if you have any questions or concerns or topics that you think would be beneficial for us to go over for you, your family, your student, now would be a good time to either leave them in the Q&A and we'll take note of that. And then there's also going to be a survey sent to parents for such questions, like just as that, so we can kind of gauge where we need to have our meetings. And that just the rest of the timeline just gives you a good plan for the rest of this year throughout virtual learning. And then our next slide is just a friendly reminder of all of the social media and different parent communications that we have for you. So if you're not following us on any of these, please go ahead and do so, because we are pushing out content and information on those all day, every day. There's multiple posts a day, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm sure most of our families have those already, but there's also information that you can obtain on our school website, and I've posted the link in there for you, and the link should be live, which means you should be able to click it right now and access it if you would like. And then in the bottom right, we have our Remind app, which we also use to communicate with parents often, and it does translate for us as well. So that's a great feature of that app that we use. So if you can't get all this social media information in one snippet, you could take your phone right now and take a picture of it to save it for later to remind yourself. But I'm assuming on most of these you already have them, but this is just a gentle reminder that this is one of the many ways that we try to communicate with our parents, and it just happens to kind of tie in with our technology theme for the night.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to talk to us a little bit about device updates for our schools, and those are computers and tablets and any other devices that your student might be working with. So first thing is the easiest thing, and that's to make sure that the devices are being charged each evening when they're not in use. And that sounds like a simple thing, but it's going to help alleviate some of the problems we've been having. Additionally, we recognize at a school that our classes have students that are attending virtually with a variety of devices, and that some applications and sites work better on laptops, and some applications and sites can be accessed on phones or tablets. But really, those laptop or desktop computers are the optimal device for the programs and the sites that we'll be working with in the applications. If your child is working with a tablet or a smartphone to access that instruction virtually with the teacher, let the teacher know that that's the device that your child is using. It doesn't mean that they can't be a part of that instruction. It just means that the teacher is going to have to make some adjustments or maybe know some things about those tablets or smartphones that'll help your child. And then finally, we don't have any new information about the Chromebook updates, but we do know that they are still coming in October for K-2. And that's still the plan. And if any of that changes, we'll let you know immediately.
So the platform that we are working with this year, the platform that HCPS supports is the It's Learning platform. And this is where teachers will roll out all of their content to you, including those links to those live events. So accessing It's Learning is super important after you take your attendance each day. That's the next link that you want to click on, because that's going to take you to all of the curriculum throughout the day. On the next slide, we're going to show you if you've had trouble accessing the It's Learning, the directions are here as to how you can go in and find it, along with the passwords that were distributed for the majority of the students. So if you are using the password that is on the screen and that is working for you, that's fantastic. If you are struggling with that password and you still haven't been able to log on with your child, that's the point in time that you can reach out with us and we can help you with that password. Some of you have already done that, and so we've issued new passwords, and so the one on the screen will not work for you anymore, and that's okay. You'll go with the one that is working. If you go down to point number 4, once you log on to It's Learning, your screen is going to come up looking one of two ways. It's either going to come up on the courses page, or more than likely it's going to come up right now on the updates page. And you want to make certain that you click on the updates, off of the updates, I'm sorry, and onto the courses, because the courses is the piece where you're going to find your curriculum. Once you head to that courses piece, if you are in kindergarten, first or second grade, those teachers are all posting content on their homeroom tile. So you're going to look for the teacher's name and homeroom, and as soon as you go into that, as soon as you click that tile and go into their page, they will now all, if they didn't already this past week, they will now all have content for that day on that first overview page, and you'll be able to stay on that page and link to the other things straight off of that overview page. That's for everything except for specials. When they go to art, music, phys ed, or media, they're going to go off that tile and go to the tile for that special area teacher. All the teachers in kindergarten, first and second will be using one link for the entire day. So you can step away from that link, you can mute it, you can turn your sound off, but you can know that that link is there. If you log off for lunch or break, you can come back to that direct link and that will take you back into that meeting for that day. So hopefully that will make it easier for you. If you're in third grade, fourth grade,
Ms. Chandler, can
Yes.
I add in there really quick? Because I do think it's important just for our community to know that for our primary students, we did hear from a lot of our families and we are listening. And we want you to know that, you know, we understand that It's Learning can be a little bit more difficult for our younger penguins. And with that knowledge, that is why our specialist really, you know, guided our grade levels, and many grade levels were on that path to use the one tile, the homeroom teacher's tile, in order to access everything. So we hope that that will be, you know, if it is a change on your child's It's Learning page, we hope that's a welcome change, because we did hear from a lot of parents that that was requested. Thank you, Ms. Chandler.
No, thank you, Mrs. Bosley. That was great. For third, fourth, and fifth grade students, your content is going to continue to be distributed the way it has been. And so teachers are posting on their tiles the time of the class and the name of the teacher, the time of the class, and the class, so that you can find your links and your pages there. But again, we're here to answer questions. If you're struggling to find a particular class, please let us help you through that process and make it easier for you. Special areas will remain the same for third, fourth, and fifth. You'll click off of their links and into the special area class and then back over.
Hi, everyone. So Mrs. Chandler and Mrs. Bosley were just talking about that one link for your meeting for the day. So that link takes you to Microsoft Teams, and Teams is a part of our live learning experience, those meetings that you're having in real time with the teachers. And we know that with any real-time technology, there's potential for bumps. So we want to really thank you and all of your students as we learn this system and as we problem solved alongside of you this week. So we know that there has been so much shared with what to do and where to go and how to problem solve. We wanted to take about 2.5 minutes with you as a school community to watch a quick video from an assistant principal named Brad Spence that is one of our biggest problem solvers for solving some Teams issues that we've been having. So we'll pull that up right now for us to watch.
Miss Cahoe, do you see the play? I don't know where my...
I think I just sent it live, but I don't see the play on it. Huh.
Our arrow disappeared on Mr. Spence.
And I see it spinning a little bit.
It might be my internet connection at home. I kept seeing bad quality.
Well, that is okay. So what we can do, families, is we will post that live link to this video. And what this video shows you, it's only about 2.5 minutes, is to make sure that you are not that guest over Microsoft Teams, that you are logged in as your child so that you can experience all of the features that are very good with Microsoft Teams. So there's a couple different ways to do that to make sure that you are either using a Windows device, or if you are on a phone, we can show you those ways through that video. But then also, if you have any sort of issues, please make sure to reach out to us with that. So again, we're going to post that video and then you can watch that later. It's only about 2.5 minutes.
And families, we wanted to include this, and I apologize. I think it's my bad Wi-Fi at home that's not allowing it to connect right now. But we know this has been posted on the Harford County webpage, but we know with the amount of information that you were receiving, we kind of wanted to pull this one link that was sent out on the Harford County webpage out for you, because we know that it's difficult to watch every single thing that comes out. So as Ms. Cahoe said, this is a really short clip, and it's very well done by Mr. Spence, so we'll make sure that we get that to you. Probably as soon as I click slides, this is going to start to play, but okay.
Thanks, Mrs. Bosley.
So here is a visual for you. And we know that although you are working towards independence with your student with virtual learning, we also know that you as our guardians and as our parents are partners in this, and we have appreciated that this entire week. So we felt that love and support this week as we problem solved and as we learned alongside of you. So one way to help your student become successful with our Microsoft Teams is to talk to them about showing their team's pride. So you can talk to them about these points and let us know if you have any trouble with any of these points so that we can help you. So that first point, just being prepared for Teams, making sure that you're there earlier on time so you can be let in from the lobby. And then also that video from Mr. Spence, just making sure that you are logged into Teams so you can get the full experience. And then that respectful piece is to make sure that you are only using the chat when your teacher is asking you, so that we can really focus on the live experience and not have anything else going on. And then also with that, always making sure that you are being respectful in the chat and on video. And then also just using that mute and unmute. And we've been practicing that all week. So that I for intelligent, which means making smart choices, is really about reaching out to us. Use those office hours, use that support line that we will show you later so that you can get that experience that you need. And then that D determined, just like we said, we're working towards becoming more independent, not giving up, and then taking some breaks. If you feel frustrated, I know I speak for every single one of our penguins this week. There have been times with technology where it's not working. And so we use those strategies that we're learning, and we're modeling those strategies for our students of being determined and not giving up. And then lastly, that E, engage, staying focused on our work. Trying to limit as many distractions that are around you. And we've seen some awesome things that our guardians have been doing to do that, to make sure their learning spaces are great. And then also taking those movement and play breaks that we talked about last meeting, to make sure that those movement and play breaks are in there so that you can stay focused. So again, we're here for you in this. Reach out to us, let us know, use those office hours, use our support lines, and your hard work at home has not gone unnoticed. We know that, and this will become smoother as we work out teams and we work out its learning and all of our learning management systems.
Families, I just wanted to jump back on. One of the families brought to my attention that I had said that the devices, the Chromebooks, were coming for grades kindergarten through 2nd grade. And I misspoke. It's kindergarten to 3rd grade, and those devices will still be coming. Thank you, Ms. Cahoe.
Okay, I'm going to jump back in here on the technology support that you see on this slide. I am really excited to be able to share this with you. Our specialists that are on the call right now actually developed this WPOPR tech helpline for our staff earlier this week. And it's kind of like that open emergency call. They can come on a Teams meeting. They can get the support that they need as an educator at our school. And it went so well that our long-term goal, which has now become a very short-term goal in just a couple days, was to invite our parents to also have a tech helpline. We do understand that, you know, Harford County does have a wonderful technology helpline that that all parents across the county are accessing. But if you have specific questions for WPOPR, we want to give you another outlet to be able to reach out to our specialist at our school, and we will work through the problem with you and hopefully be able to get you right back on and, you know, ease any type of frustration or confusion as you work through this. We do want to remind you that as we're going through this, you see down here in red that it does say WPOPR families only. So if you could be so kind as to not share this number with friends across the county that don't attend our school, we're going to be focused on our families and working through the almost 900 families that we have at William Paca to support you through the process. So I really do hope that you're as excited about that as we are as we continue to move forward. This is also going to be an opportunity where if you dial in, we're going to be, you know, kind of collating some of the questions that our parents have or students have so that we can continue to make changes and make things better as we move forward. So please use that, and you'll see the hours and you can simply dial in right from your phone, and someone will be there to help you. This is also the family technology support that is offered through Harford County Public Schools, so we wanted to put this up here as well. I know that many people have seen this posted on the Harford County social media sites and also the Harford County webpage, but this is just another, and there's all kinds of things on here. There's email, there's if you're more comfortable with that. And there are hours of phone call support that you can dial in for as well. Right, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Clinton for our question and answer portion.
Thanks, Mrs. Bosley. So for the team, if anybody would like to jump in and answer, we did have a question about the login for Teams, if it is different than the login for its learning. This family could log into its learning, but not into Teams. Is there anybody that can answer that?
I can talk about that.
Mrs. Chandler, I'm going to put your face on if it's so they can see some faces. If you want to turn your camera on, I'll put you on live.
Absolutely. And if it's okay, I'd like to share my screen if I can figure if I can make that happen. So HCPS students have a single sign-in, which means that everything that is on our platform has just that one sign-in. So everything that they see on their start page requires the same sign-in. The only difference is for some of the apps The @student.hcps.org is not required, and for others of them it is, and that can be just a little bit confusing. But one of the ways that we have problem solved with this already is to take you through the Harford County website. Mrs. Bosley, are you seeing the website right now, or are you still seeing me?
I'm still seeing you.
Oh, that's too bad.
You can certainly post that in the question and answer.
I
Miss
see the
Miss
website.
Chandler, I can see the website.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's just the connections. But I could see it. So
Okay. So once you go to the Harford County website, which you can go from your child's start page, there's a Harford County website piece right there. Once you go there, if you click students, you will see that the resources are listed right here. If you click on Office 365, which is what Teams is a part of, and if you scroll down, this is the information that tells you if you're on your own device that you have 5 free downloads of Office 365. That's not really the part that you're most interested in to log on to Teams. Right here where it says log on to your account. If you click here, you can see that I'm already logged in, but you would come to a screen that would log you into Office 365. If you keep that tab open while you're joining your Teams accounts in It's Learning, so you would have your It's Learning tab open separately, and this Office 365 link opened as well. When you log into your Teams account, that should give you access to the Teams meeting a little bit easier.
Thank you, Mrs. Chandler. Okay, we have another question from a family. And this family is wondering, is there a reason why the teachers can't drive the meetings in Teams and screen share for the children? For example, instead of the children clicking the link to get into the lessons and then going back into Teams, could the teachers screen share so that the children don't have to navigate out of Teams to It's Learning and then back into Teams? I was hoping there was somebody that could answer this question for our family.
I can try that one again. One of the teachers are in the primary grades are going to start screen sharing more of what they can. When we are asking you to come out of a whole group lesson or a whole group or a small group lessons, it's so that students can be working independently on their own. So into their math book or into a recording sheet for reading or for writing. And so for screen share for that purposes, it doesn't work as well because we want them to have their own individual work. If I understood the question correctly, I hope that answered it. If I didn't understand the question correctly, please feel free to post and we can work on that.
Ms. Chandler, I can add to that too.
Okay.
Additionally, all of the classroom teachers have been asked to provide a pre-recorded lesson video for students that might be working asynchronously or who want to refer back to that video later on in the lesson or later on in the day. That content will be provided. And some of the teachers have decided that that part of the lesson, that video part, is something that they could also incorporate into their live lesson as a live event. So we're working through right now the best flow of a lesson to keep students with the teacher, with the rest of the class in that pace of the lesson, instead of directing them from the beginning of a lesson to the independent video segment back into the Teams meeting again so they can join each other for whole group, and trying to keep everyone together in the lesson, maybe working through that video as a group, then working through some of their material together as a group or small groups or independently, but not leaving the meeting.
That's great. Thank you, Mrs. Chandler and Mrs. Walker. And we did have one last question this evening. And this question is asking about the need to download the Teams app separately on the home device, or will it open automatically in its learning? And this is coming from a kindergarten family.
I can answer that if you guys want me to, because I've actually just recently experienced this with my second grader. I had to purchase a Chromebook for him because they didn't come in yet. And I just simply had to log into his It's Learning account through HCPS. And because that link is directly embedded into his homeroom teacher's It's Learning page, all that we had to do was click on that link, and then it takes you to that site, and you just simply have to join that meeting. There will be directions there for you to just simply go into it. So I did not have to download a Teams app on his device for that.
Very good. Thank you, Mrs. Scharf. And I think that's all we have for tonight, Mrs. Bosley.
Okay, great. And if there are any additional questions, please go ahead and like I said, put those in the Q&A, and we'll be sure to document the answers in writing. I want to end with just a few comments, and I know we're at 7:32, but hopefully you're still with us, because we can go over the amount of time on a live Teams meeting. What I do want to our parents to leave understanding is that, you know, our teachers, we've had a lot of conversations about, we understand the importance of continuously modeling and making sure that our students feel very comfortable in how they're navigating these. And the goal is for there to be minimal support from parents. And even when our kindergartners are receiving their Chromebooks eventually, that will be the ultimate goal, is to make it as unified and as simplistic as we possibly can, so that students can be as independent as possible, working through the day with their teachers and with their classmates online. You know, fortunately, students catch on to these technology applications, I feel like, much quicker than, I will speak for myself, than I personally do. The older I get, the more difficult it gets for me to learn the new applications, but they seem to be able to just, you know, move that mouse around and click and just get where they need to go. If that is not happening, please continue to reach out to us. We are here for you. We want this to be successful for all of our students, and you have a lot of resources. You know, you have all of us, all 8 of us that are on this team meeting tonight, and you have your entire staff, your teachers that are here to offer the support. I want to end with, please remember also to post anything in the Q&A that you would like for us to focus on during our next family engagement meeting. And if we don't get suggestions through the Q&A, as Ms. Godfrey said, she's going to send out just a very quick survey if you'd like to respond to that. And we'll just kind of tally up what are the topics that you're interested in hearing, and we'll cover as much as we can during our next meeting. So we appreciate you joining us this evening. We hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you all on Monday. All right, bye-bye.